Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unveil. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope good. By the way, happy Thanksgiving. I have a green screen on today, guys, because we're renovating and my house is a mess. So you can't see anything back here. There's just crap everywhere. All right. So, if you're here already, just go ahead and say hello. I hope everybody did have a good Thanksgiving. And if you haven't had Thanksgiving yet, I hope you do have a good Thanksgiving. We're having ours tomorrow, so I'm prepping for that. That's why I've been so dang busy. But tonight, guys, we have a very special guest. And you know what? I would not even be doing this podcast if it wasn't for this guest we have tonight. It's really, he's the reason that I'm where I am at right now. He's the reason I'm doing a show right now. Not gonna lie. He got me into Pun Network, and I'm very, very thankful for it. So without further ado, everybody welcome Jeremey York.
Hello.
Welcome, Jeremey. Can you hear me? It looks like we're lagging.
I can hear you just fine on my end.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What's up? Okay. Good night. What is going on? Hopefully this don't happen all night. How you doing?
I don't know. Usually it's me who has the Wi-Fi issues.
Okay, we'll blame you then.
Okay. I've been all right. I've been on a.
But how you doing, Jeremey?
I'm doing all right. I've been on a bit of a break, taking a break-ish from the paranormal, and taking a break from Facebook, and it's been so liberating. It has. How you doing?
That's awesome. Oh no, hello, Jeremey, I think you're cutting out. Is anybody else having trouble watching?
For those of you on the audience, who's freezing, me or her? Get to the bottom of this once and for all.
One of us is. Like you were frozen that whole time you were answering.
Oh no.
That's awesome.
Do I need to go through my answer again?
Yes, you have to go word for word for your answer all over again. Please do. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. You both sound great. Both sound good on audience side for LOL. I'm freezing.
Okay, so apparently it's on your
I think
end.
We're good. Yeah, which I have. I do kind of have a, you know, I don't know. I do kind of have some bars there. I'm down like one bar. That's it. Not to one bar, but I'm missing like one bar. So.
Ooh.
I don't know, guys.
So
let's hope it hangs in there. Shall we kick the children off the Wi-Fi?
Again. Oh no, you frozen on me. There you are. This is going to be.
This is so terrible. Hold on, I cannot do this. Well, this keeps. Okay, you there? You there? Hello. Yeah. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
I do. That sounded so weird. I'm so glad the audience is having good audio and can still see us, and we're not frozen, but we keep freezing to each other. So my ghosties don't like your ghosties, I guess. I don't know.
Is possible.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so
interesting hour.
What's that?
One thing for sure, it is going to be an interesting hour, even if we get to watch you freeze with the show.
Yep. It's going to be awesome, guys.
Yes, it is.
I don't have my Wi-Fi on my phone or nothing, so I don't know what's eating up the Wi-Fi around here.
Okay, so do you ever reset your router?
Yeah, like once in a blue moon.
You might want to start doing that once a week. That's what I've been doing. I reset my router
Yeah.
2 hours earlier today.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to do that. So anyways, back to the show, Jeremy. By the way, everybody, Jeremy, so many of you guys, I'll probably know him. Everybody knows Jeremy York. I mean, if you don't know Jeremy York, where the hell have you been? So, okay, I'm glad everybody is able to hear us. So Jeremy, you have, God, where do we start with you? I'm like, there's so much you do and so many projects you're involved with. I guess let's start with where you started. What's that? Yeah, where did you start?
Well, I started. It all
when you got the paranormal. Don't tell me about being like that, like Howard did.
Oh boy.
What? Are we frozen?
Nothing. He was answering.
No. Actually, you are right now. Okay, now you're fine. So for me, it really all started when I was at Walmart, and I was in the electronics department, and I found this season of the first, this DVD of the first season of Ghost Hunters. And I thought it was just going to be like a regular show, you know, like Supernatural or something like that. So I went on ahead and got it, and it turned out to be something completely different. And I was watching them, and I was like, you know what? This is something I think I could do, because I've always liked helping people. And to me, what better way to help people? Hello, Tim. And what better way of helping people to not be afraid of being in their homes, you know? So in 2009, I got a group of guys together. We were going to start up things. And with this group, we did not make it past the first meeting. We had our first meeting at a Steak and Shake. We laid out, I forget what they were, our goals and everything. We were there for a good 2 hours. And it was just 4 of us, and never got past that first meeting because they all got so busy. The one works he's like cybersecurity, so he is extremely busy. Even now, he is still extremely busy with that job. The other two, really? I've actually lost contact with them. We used to work together, and I'm not even sure what those guys are doing. They're brothers. So it'd be a couple of years after that, in 2011, where I had my first quasi-investigation. And it was just me on my own. But things did not really get us first started until December of 2015. And then from there, it just grew and grew and grew to what you see now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, you've always, I've noticed with groups that usually the original people that were there the very first day are there when you get to the point where you're at right now. Because you have to kind of get to know your teammates. You got to kind of weed out who's dedicated and how much they're dedicated and whether or not they have the time for it. So yeah, definitely, I'm not surprised that it started and then it kind of just did its thing, and then now it's where it's at.
Yep. And honestly, things probably in the best shape it's ever been.
Right. And we meet a lot of teams. Especially, you only met more teams than I have, and you can always tell the dynamic in teams whether it's going to be successful or not. You just can. You can tell with the chemistry between team members and all that. So.
Well, not only
Yeah,
that,
that's
but
so important.
sometimes, yeah, but not only that, but sometimes the dynamics can change. People can
Right.
change, and then it starts becoming a negative effect on the team, and that does
Right.
happen. We've seen that
Right.
happen
Yeah.
with
Well.
so many different teams.
Mhm.
So,
And life changes. Like people have major life changes. They move, they have kids, major things happen in their lives. So yeah, it's you
oh
see
yeah,
teams fluctuate all the time. So
exactly. And like for me, there even though paranormal, a lot of people call it a hobby. To me, it's a
right.
lifestyle. But
Yeah.
yeah, I call it a lifestyle. Because that's what it really is.
Yeah.
And there are things out there that are more important than this lifestyle, even though some people don't want to admit it.
Hmm.
Uh, and I've actually have been told secondhand that some certain things were distracting me from the paranormal life.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I am building or trying at the time trying to build something in my personal life,
Yeah.
which has nothing to do with the paranormal. But you got to have that balance. But you also have to have your priorities.
Yeah. You do. You do.
Mhm.
Yeah. To eat, sleep, dream paranormal is probably a little much on everybody.
It is. It really is. And I will tell
It
you
is. Yeah.
this: the paranormal, like other people out there, it has taken its toll on me. Um,
Hmm.
and I needed to take a break. And I gotta say, it's been a
How do
nice.
you feel now that your break's almost over?
It it feels liberating. Um, I am still doing some paranormal work to a degree, but nowhere near what I have been doing for the last year and a half. Well, no, actually, not longer than that. Last 3 years,
Yeah.
it's just been nonstop. But I've been at my most busiest for the last 18 months.
Yeah.
Um,
For
and
sure.
at some
I'm
yeah,
sure.
and at some point, it's like something's got to give. So I thought, okay, once I get everything to a certain point where I know I can step away and let people that I trust take over, I can do that. And I finally
Yes.
got to that point. So October 31st, right before I went to bed, I took Facebook off of my phone. That was the first thing I did. Um, I kept Messenger,
Okay.
but I logged off of my main account. I actually have, spoiler alert, I actually have a backup account that I use for emergencies only.
Yeah.
And
I learned that one.
yes, you did.
I was like, who the heck is this Jeremy York?
Yeah, but there were certain things that I needed to remove myself from, not necessarily just paranormal in general or
Hmm.
Facebook, although there is a lot of drama in Facebook that is really tiresome.
Yeah.
Um, but there were certain things that I needed to remove myself from, and I did, and I feel a lot more free than I have in a very, very long time.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad your hiatus is almost over. You were missed.
I Yesterday I started going through all of my. I logged back into my account yesterday and actually went through a lot of my messages, and there were a lot of messages like that. We miss you.
Yeah.
Come back. Something like that. I miss everybody too. I really do. but I needed to get this break.
Yep.
And
well, I good for you. I'm glad you did it.
Yeah. Good. Starting next week, I'll be back full force, December 1st.
Awesome. We're looking forward to that too.
Now, next week, we are actually going to be doing something for this new thing that we have that's called the Paranormal Giving Tree.
Okay.
This new charity organization that actually started a year ago with the Paranormal Relief Project. And it got turned over to me, and I brought it to the team. Okay, what are we going to do? So now we're working on this, and we're actually going to be doing something for that project on Wednesday.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll roll that out very soon after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be
awesome.
Like it'll be my big return, but you won't actually see that return until, I don't know, maybe a week after that. It just depends on how long it actually gets put together.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing that project.
Yeah, me too. We've got
awesome.
We got some things already figured out, and then it's just a matter of actually rolling it out. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. That's so kind. Since it is Thanksgiving weekend, what are you thankful for? We should discuss that. I've not asked. What are you thankful for?
Well, one, I am thankful for the life that I am able to live. I got my dad who lives right across the street from me. My daughter lives with him because of my hectic schedule. As everybody knows, she's autistic, so she needs to be able to have, routine. She needs to have consistency, and Dad's the one who's able to give that to her. And luckily, it's right across the street from me.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So if it weren't for my dad, I don't know what would be with Angelia right now.
Yeah.
I am thankful.
Oh, that's very cool.
I am thankful for the team that I have, especially the ones that have been running the network. They have really, really helped get this thing off the ground, and it's become fairly successful so far. We got 25 shows now.
Wow. Yeah. That many? I realized it went that high already.
And we still got people contacting us about wanting to join.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a testament to the hard work that Crystal and Adrian have done.
Yeah, for sure.
When I took my step away, I basically handed the network over to them and let them handle everything. And 99% of the time, they did not have to bring anything to me.
Awesome.
Because I trust them.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to have that kind of trust with people that you work with.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
And they have done such a phenomenal job on it.
Yeah. That's very cool. I'm glad that you've had that team to come behind you and help you. You need that in any aspect of teamwork. You know what I mean? Because even if you didn't take a hiatus just to take a hiatus, if you had a family crisis, you have somebody who can back you up, and that's great.
Yeah, and I've got several members of my team that are able to do that. If it's already set up in place that if anything were to happen to me, the team is going to be taken care of.
Awesome.
It's already in place who's going to take over it. Or even if I move out of state, which Tim already told me you're not allowed to do.
No, you're not allowed.
Yeah, because I got a team that wants me to move to New York. Well, I don't know if I can do that. But also, I'm also very thankful for the friends that I've had who have been able throughout the summer have helped me out through certain situations that I've been going through.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian's one of them. Chrissy Daggett, I saw her commenting earlier. I think she was one of them. Katie Elaine, she's helped out a lot.
Awesome.
Then my teammates, Crystal, Tim, Scott, the other Scott, both Scotts. It's just wonderful to be able to have this kind of family that come together and really help you out.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Now, I think you and I have talked a few times too about certain things.
Yeah, we've had some discussions. We've talked about some personal stuff.
Yeah, so you would fall right in there with everybody else.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be a part of that circle. That's a very supportive circle.
It really is. And we all help each other out so much. And now,
awesome.
with you being the newest member of our team.
Yes. By the way, I think we announced that at the last show or the show before.
Did
you? I think we did. I did update my page and stuff to include things on there. But yeah, so if you guys didn't know, I got the honor of being invited to join Things a couple weeks ago. So I'm slowly integrating everything into that. Unveil will still be here as we have the show, so, and I'll still be posting on a regular basis and whatnot. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to being a part of Things.
Yeah, this has actually been like a few months in the making, really.
Yeah, we discussed it thoroughly. We did.
Yeah. We did. And now we all glad to have you aboard. Because I remember
thank you guys. I am stoked.
The team about the possibility of you joining us, they were really happy about that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
So you are to the team.
Good. I plan on being a decent asset to you guys, and I get along with everybody, so you don't really have to worry about that. I think I do, at least.
I think you'll fit in just fine with everybody.
Yeah. For sure.
We all take care of each other. You'll find that out very quick. We all take care of each other.
I love that. Absolutely. So you have a ton of projects going on. If people want to reach out to you, because guys, Jeremey does, he hosts, what are your shows again you host?
The 13th Dimension and the Petri Dish.
Yeah. So he's a host. He's running things. He runs things, everything. He is everything. That's what I always say when I talk about Jeremy. I'm like, he's Things Networks. He's things. He's everything. He is. He literally is. So, you can find him. Anything that's like Things is him. So, you definitely can have access to reach out to him if you have questions for him. Also, guys, if you do have questions for Jeremy and you want to ask questions during the show, you guys can do that. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the show, but I always open up the floor there for the audience to let them ask questions to the guests, because, you might have questions I don't ask, and, you might have a better question than me. So I would really appreciate if you do have questions for Jeremy that you go ahead and put them in the comment section. Okay.
Yeah, bring them on.
Yeah. So, okay. So I actually really like asking questions, because I like to get to know people during the show, because a lot of the guests I have are people I'm familiar with, but I don't know them really, really well. There's people I've done investigating with, but I've not got to know them further than like a one investigation. So you know, I like to get the chance to ask these questions. Hi, Laura. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
Huh. I've never asked a guest this question. I'm going to ask this one. These are Will's questions. Will's not here tonight, guys. I kicked him off the Wi-Fi because my Wi-Fi was going slow. So I actually just told him, I sent him a message, said just log out. So anyways, here's one from Will. He says, if you had to use, oh, okay. No, never mind. I read it wrong. It says, if you had to use one paranormal tool for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I actually read, if you had to be a paranormal tool the rest of your life, what would it be? And I'm like, wait, that's interesting. You could be a paranormal tool. If you could be a paranormal tool, what would you like to be? Jeremy's like, what?
If I could be a
yeah.
If I could be a paranormal tool, what would I be?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Wow.
That's not what the question was, but that's how I read it.
Interesting question, though.
I know, right?
It would probably have to be the thermal.
Oh, yeah?
You're stuck in headlights. It would probably have to be the thermal. And mainly because that is something that you can't really fool. Because it seeks out the heat signatures and it shows you what's hot, what's cold. There is no gray area on that one. It's going to tell you definitively, okay, this is warm. This area here is really, really cold. It's straight up. And it'll even tell you what the actual temperature is based on its readings. How they were able to make something like that, I don't know. But I think I would pick the thermal imaging camera.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you just figure out what's hot and what's not, right?
Yes.
Now,
as
right on.
What I'm guessing the actual question is, what tool do I like to use the most?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yes.
That would be the whistle.
The dog whistle?
Yep. And I don't know how many times I've explained that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody's really explained the dog whistle on my show, but you could sum it up if you want. Why you use it?
The original thought process behind using that was trying to use that as a way to communicate with the other side. Only to find out that it yields very different results. Either they get aggressive or they flee the area. They don't like the whistle. So in using that with the sound frequencies, I believe that sound frequency is going to play a big part in what we do. And this is something that I am working with John Griffin II with, and also Robert Murphy with. So it's just a lot of trials that we still need to do, a lot of experiments that we still need to do. But in good time, we'll be able to figure out, okay, we know what this whistle can do, but what can it be used for in the future? And that's ultimately what we're looking to do.
Awesome. That'd be really cool to see what you guys can come up with on your experiments.
It's been very interesting so far.
Yeah. So, what about locations? Like, do you have a location that's on your bucket list you haven't got to go to yet that you want to go to?
St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida.
Me too. You think they'll let us in for the things stuff?
I have been to many, many locations. Waverly, Crown Point Jail, the Masonic Temple in Kansas. That one is a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
But the one place that I want to go above all others is the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
That's awesome.
And one of these days I will get down there.
Yeah. I think that's awesome because St. Augustine itself, just the town, is so historic. And it would just be interesting just to be there. You know, just the area is so historic and all that. And like you could just, I'm sure there's more than just the lighthouse that's haunted.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a jail down there that's supposedly haunted as well. And from what I understand from multiple people, is that the whole town is haunted. It's like the Florida version of Savannah, Georgia.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I could totally see that. We have a question for you from Tim.
Do I do live investigating? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Not always, but sometimes I do.
Where do you do those live at? On Facebook?
Well, we've done that. We do that on Facebook, mainly through the Things Universal page. But now that we have the network, we'll also put it out through the Things Network as well. So far, I personally have not done it. I know Howard has through the network.
Okay.
But we will eventually start doing some lives. We just hadn't had one. We've been doing more residentials lately, and we don't do lives at residentials.
Right.
But for public locations, we will.
Yeah, for sure. Who influences you the most in this field, would you say?
The most?
These are deep-seated questions, aren't they?
Well, see, that one would be kind of hard because everybody to a degree influences me. Either based on style, based on the theories that they have. Like John Griffin. He's a major influence on me because of the ideas that he and his team come up with of doing experiments on location. Another influence that I have is Robert Murphy because of the knowledge that he has on everything. To me, he's the smartest man in the paranormal field.
Okay.
My team, they all influence me in their own way based on their passion. And like for example, a couple of weeks ago, we went to go do a residential. So it was myself, Kim, Crystal, Blake, Scott Wilson. And normally when a team goes into a location, they get in there, they start talking with the client and do the little tour, and usually that takes quite a while. And then you start coming up with a game plan. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to attack this place. That did not happen at this residential. Okay. We got in there. We got into this house. We went 5 minutes in. Scott and Crystal were already going around the house checking out for faulty wiring and everything. Scott had this special little EMF meter, like an old style EMF meter. I'd never seen this before, and apparently you can't get it anywhere anymore.
Oh, okay.
And Crystal was right behind him, writing down readings. Any spikes that they had. We went 5 minutes into it, and they were already going to work.
Okay.
And Tim and they were doing the interview with the client. And I was just so amazed by that process because I wasn't expecting that. But it's nice to be able to, okay, we have a couple guys doing the interview. What's everybody else doing? They're not just hanging around or,
right.
squat. They are working while we are doing this interview. So they are making this out. So we don't have to worry about doing a baseline or anything like that after the tour. They're already taking care of that.
Yeah, they took initiative. They went in and they were there. They knew what the goal was. They knew what their job was. It wasn't, let's just go on a ghost hunt. Let's help these people. Let's find these answers for them. And they did it. That's awesome.
Yeah. And that is so refreshing to being able to see that, because I have had many instances where, some team members are just hang back, do nothing. Yeah, you can't just rely on everybody being a part of the interview.
Right.
So it is so nice to be able to see something like that. Oh no.
Am I frozen? You said, "Oh no, am I frozen?"
Actually, on my end, I lost both of us.
Oh no. Well, I could hear you the whole time, but you did freeze up on the screen.
Okay.
So.
Well, what I'm going to do. Okay, I just put my phone on airplane mode, so hopefully that'll solve that issue.
All right.
I had a message come through on my phone. Yeah, Tim was doing the link for 13th Dimension.
Yeah.
Because Tim and Scott are going to be interviewing Nat and Elliot out of Chicago area. So that should be a fun show to watch.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah. So when his message came through on my phone,
I
lost everything.
Oh no. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you're back, so we're good. Like I said, I could hear you. Yeah. Florida.
Yeah.
Now. Well, hang in there. You could. Awesome. Do you have any pet peeves? You seem like a very accepting, open-minded guy, but I'm sure you've got pet peeves about the field. Do you have any pet peeves?
I do.
Yeah.
One.
I need to know these.
Not everything.
Not every.
Yeah. In fact, I posted a TikTok video yesterday, and when I was editing this video before I put it out, I noticed at the very beginning of it there was like a little orb thing kind of flying up behind me, and like, you know what? I know I'm going to get comments on this, and sure enough, I did. You got a ghost behind you. Is that an orb? No, it is not. Just because there's an orb, that does not mean there's a ghost.
Right.
There are many other pet peeves. One, people who get into the field for glory, to become famous. Yeah, you may become
good luck.
Yeah. You may become internet famous, but that's probably all you're going to get. And I do know that there are people who do gain fame, though that wasn't their intention. And if that happens, you know what? That's great. Good for you.
Right.
But I don't like it when people go in there into it with the goal of becoming famous. Like me, I don't want to be famous. I enjoy my privacy.
Right.
Yeah. And everybody who knows me knows that.
I believe it.
Yeah. And there are some others, but those really are just the main ones.
Awesome. Is there anything? Go ahead.
Oh, I was also going to say, and also those who tell people that they are whatever.
Psychics, mediums. I'm allowed to say that.
Well, that falls in there as well. But really, they go in there and they don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they can actually end up, if they're on a residential, they can actually end up making it worse on the client.
Yeah. When you're doing residentials, you got to be careful who you have with you because they've got to have people skills, and not everybody has people skills.
No, no, they don't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so thankful to have who I have on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just bring anybody willy-nilly onto the team. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So everybody that is brought onto the team, believe me, I've scouted them out. And other members of my team have scouted them out. So, are you still there?
So what you're saying, yes, I'm here. So what you're saying is I was stalked before I got an invite.
Sure.
That's okay. All my stuff's out there. I don't have to hide much. So my life's pretty boring beyond what's online.
But the thing is, it wasn't just me who had an eye on you. There were some other members of the team that not like that. but there were other. I think Will might have an issue with that.
He might.
But there were other members of the team that also had an eye on you as well.
Okay.
So when the opportunity came, hi Nick. So when the opportunity came, that's when we started having the discussions.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys invited me, so I'm thankful. Yeah. Thanks, Nick, for joining. All right.
Glad to have you on here, Nick.
Yes, for sure. I need to have him on the show again sometime to talk about cryptids. I still want to talk about some cryptids. You into cryptids at all?
Huh?
Are you into cryptids at all, Jeremy? What do you think of those?
Not anywhere to the extent that Nick is.
Yeah.
I do have an interest in them. I'd like to learn a little bit about them. I was once invited to do, what was it? I think it was a hunt for skinwalkers.
Oh, okay.
Skinwalker Ranch. I was once invited to do that, and I don't know. Maybe someday I'll do something like that.
Yeah.
But my main goal is people.
Yeah.
But
what about
would it be cool to go after a Bigfoot or a Skinwalker or even Nessie?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
What about extraterrestrials? What do you think of them?
Oh.
What?
Our ancestors.
Oh, our ancestors, really?
Oh yeah, I do believe there is alien life out there, and I believe that our life derived from them.
Okay. I've not heard this yet. This is new.
Well, there's a lot of theories out there that Earth was not the first planet for us.
Okay. Yeah.
There are some theories that Mars might have been the original planet that we came from. I don't know about that. But I do believe that we were brought to this planet, or we were at least seeded onto this planet.
Ah.
by other civilizations.
I think I've heard this theory before.
Yes. But when you really think about it, think about the size of the universe.
Yeah, it's huge.
We possibly be the only intelligent life form in the universe.
No, we're not. There's no way.
Yeah. People would have to be so arrogant to think that we're the only ones here. There's no way. Especially when there's evidence all over the planet that kind of gives us the idea that we have been visited by aliens from another planet. I mean, think about the Nazca lines down there. What is it in Peru, South America?
I don't know.
What would the purpose of those lines? You don't know the Nazca lines? Those are the ones where they got the little drawings into the earth, into the mountains that you can only see from above.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Sorry, it like cut out. So.
And the only possible reason that they would have made those lines thousands of years ago is for people from up above to be able to see it.
Right.
And who up above us but aliens? People flying around in little spaceships. Because they certainly didn't have aviation back then. At least not that we know of.
Right. Yeah, I definitely believe there's other intelligent life out there. To me, it's a little scary if they ever show up or around here where I come face to face with one. It's a little scary, but it's definitely much more plausible that there's other life out there.
And yeah, it can be very scary. Look at Independence Day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Okay, well, I did not know that about you, Jeremy. We haven't talked about this stuff. We always talk about ghosties and stuff. So yeah. I'm always curious, what else you think about the other stuff that's like a conspiracy of some sorts, Since oh my God, it's already 7:50. Are you kidding me? Wow. All right. Time goes fast. Okay, Jeremy, then I have one more question.
Okay.
I can't read all that. So I have one more question. I think this question's really good for you because the thing is, you're very experienced in this field, I think. I think you're very experienced in this field. So my question is, what advice would you give someone wanting to enter into the paranormal field?
Don't base what you see on TV. Don't go by anything that you see on TV because what you see on TV and what we actually do are completely different. I mean, they show things of what we do, but something that most people tend to take for granted is that TV shows are for ratings. Yes. They are doing stuff so that they can get the viewership. We are actually working. Because we will put in, and what they do as well, they put in many, many hours worth of work.
Right.
Whereas all of those hours are condensed down into a half hour or 1 hour shows. And don't believe everything that you see on Ghost Adventures. You are not going to run into a paranormal situation every location you go to. You are not going to run into a possession everywhere you go to.
Yes.
So when you get into this field, get into it with an open mind. Learn to listen to people so that you can get advice from experienced people. Yes, Cliff, exactly. And ask questions. The old saying goes, there is no such thing as a stupid question, even if it sounds stupid. If you don't know, you don't know. Ask.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And most people are not going to ridicule you because you don't already know this. But go into it with an open mind. Forget about what you've seen on TV. Open mind and ask questions. Open ears. And watch and learn.
Yes. I agree with that.
Doctor just said, be true to yourself. Yes, that's another very important thing. Be true to yourself. And don't go in there with high expectations.
Yep, absolutely. That's good advice.
And not the same questions every time. Yeah, that.
Is she referring to for the EVP questions, I would assume?
With Chrissy, you can never tell.
Yeah.
She might be talking about
EVPs
questions at the time. And yeah.
Don't call out demons. Not everything is a demon.
Right. And that's another thing people need to learn is that demons are extremely rare. 99% of investigators will go their entire paranormal career without running into a demonic entity.
Yeah, I actually had this conversation with somebody the other day, and they were like, "You've never met a demon?" Like, I was like, "No, I don't think I have."
Yeah.
I really don't think I have. And so, I mean, they're like, "Well, you're a medium. Shouldn't you have ran into one by now?" No. I don't think so.
Right. It's just because something happens or just because you get a scratch or you get touched or your hair gets pulled, that does not mean there's a demon there. It can mean that somebody is just trying to get your attention.
Right.
With no bad intentions. If something were bad, if something was demonic, trust me, you're going to be getting a lot more than just scratches or your hair pulled. It's going to get downright. So,
it's going to get nasty. It's going to get bad.
Yeah. But just because you get a scratch, okay, you got scratched. That means somebody's trying to get your attention. Or you did it yourself. And
yeah.
Not that you intentionally did that yourself. You just bumped into something and you got scratched. Maybe you didn't feel it at the time.
Yeah.
No. But you got to look at everything through every angle that you can before saying, okay, this is paranormal.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. All right. Well, guys, we're actually running out of time. So, Jeremy, I've only got 3 minutes left. Well, I got less than that. I'm actually 2 minutes behind. I'm supposed to be at 7:55. You told me that 7:55. So,
7:55, but we do have that 5-minute window to actually shut down.
I know. So anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you so much, Jeremy, for coming on my show tonight. I really appreciate you coming out of hiatus just to drop in. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
So much. Yeah, no problem. And I'm sure I'll have you on again for sure because we got lots to talk about.
Just let me know.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely. And to everybody else, I do just want to say a quick thing. Last week, I did live readings. First off, thank you all so much for jumping in. That was amazing. I had no idea so many people were going to send photos. If you have a photo you wanted read and I did not read it live, if you want me to read it, send it to Unveil my messenger, and actually let me know you want me to read it. Otherwise, I'm going to save them all till the next show. So let me know. Anyways, guys, next week we have another Things member, Scott Wilson, coming. So that's exciting. So we'll get to hang out with him for 55 minutes, and it'll be awesome. So everybody, just want to say thank you all for dropping in. Have a good night.
Good night.